with regard to the original contract that was awarded for Insight Global was $22.9 million. General Assembly, to my knowledge, never appropriated those funds. How was the funding authorized, and where did the funding originate?
Absolutely. So in the spring of 2020, we were able to receive our first epidemiology and lab capacity grant from the federal government. I believe the initial one was in the 30 millions, and then it has been added to since. But those dollars were received from the federal government into an existing grant channel that had existed within the Department of Health prior to the pandemic, whereby the federal government gave us epidemiology and lab capacity funding for both testing and contact tracing, and those are the dollars that actually were funding the Insight Global contract.
Okay, very good. So over the weekend, Spotlight PA reported that the contract for Insight Global ballooned to $57.8 million, more than double the original cost of the contract, with a vendor that failed to properly safeguard sensitive health care information, and a contract that your agency terminated early. So help me understand how the cost can be even greater than the original amount, figuring that we did not run the contract for the full 12 months. Can you help me make sense of that?
Absolutely, and thank you for the opportunity to correct this too. The purchase order was increased to $57 million. That happened, I believe, earlier this spring, again, as a potential maximum ceiling. Invoices to date that have been paid to Insight Global is $28,660,923. And so at this point, Treasury has halted all other invoice payments to Insight Global in accordance with, I think, litigation. And we're going to be able to, again, I believe, curtail further payments. But at this stage, the $28 million is the actual number. And that was, again, contingent on this spring. The purchase order was increased, but we did not spend that much money.
Very good. Were there similar provisions? You spoke to the future contract having provisions to scale, either scale up or scale down, depending on case counts. Did the Insight Global contract have that same provision?
Yes, in concept, the same bringing staff on and then contemplating having to hopefully allow staff to be let go were contemplated in both contracts.
Very good.